May I start, ma'am?
Yes, good morning everyone. And today we are doing an activity, News in English by BCom first semester, YouTube online classes. The first participant is Ashutosh.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Today I am here to read the newspaper, English newspaper, and here I start my newspaper reading. Here, COVID-19, only 6 states to begin vaccination for 18 plus from today. Only 6 states will be able to start vaccinable for the 18 to 44 age group when the nationwide drive to inoculate the younger lot kick starts on Saturday. All other states and union territories have either deferred vaccination for this age group by a few days or are uncertain about starting the exercise as they are facing vaccine shortage. Even in these 6 states, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, UP, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, and Odisha, the, the May 1 drive will be a token one. In most of these states, it will be limited to just a few districts. In Maharashtra, which is the most affected COVID-19 state in the country, approx 3 lakh Covishield doses were distributed on Friday evening for the 1st May to exercise after the Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray announced that everyone in the age of 18 to 44 will be vaccinated and this state would bear the cost of the coverage. Pune, Mumbai, and Thane each got the largest share of 20,000 doses, while other districts were given anywhere from 3,000 to 10,000 doses each. COVID-19 updates. Maharashtra Health Minister Rajesh Tope told that we have planned to start vaccinating this stage group in a small way, initially as we are still short of dosage. He said that while the state needs around 12 crore doses for a population of 5.7 crore in the 18 to 44 age group, both Serum Institute of India and Bharat Biotech have given in writing to the state that they could provide 13 lakh and 3.45 lakh doses respectively to Maharashtra in May alone. In UP, another was affected state, the drive will start on May 1st in only 7 of the total 75 districts. Health Department officials said the drive will take place only in Lucknow, Kanpur, Prayagraj, Varanasi, Gorakhpur, Meerut, and Bareilly initially. Then after, Rajasthan will also start the drive in only 3 of the 33 districts like Ajmer, Jaipur, and Jodhpur. And while the expecting 3 lakh vaccine dosage by Friday midnight. As, as Gujarat CM Vijay Rupani announced that vaccination for the age group will start in 10 out of 23 districts, which have the highest load of COVID-19 positive cases. He said the state was expecting 3 lakh vaccine dosage on Friday night. As the Odisha government announced the start of vaccination from Saturday after it received a consignment of 1.5 lakh dosage of vaccine on Friday evening. And Chhattisgarh Health Minister T.S. Singh Deo said the government will roll out the drive from May 1, will give priority to Antyodaya card holders and particularly vulnerable tribal groups. The state will receive 1.5 lakh doses of Covaxin on Saturday afternoon. We have decided not to delay the vaccination program and will start inoculation by May 1. The vaccination will continue to progress as vaccine stocks arrive, Singh said. However, all other states have deferred the drive due to uncertainty about their stocks. Assam Health Minister Hemant Biswa Sarma confirmed on Twitter that the center had committed to provide 5 lakh doses of vaccine for the age of 18 to 44. However, considering the uncertainty about the date of arrival of the first consignment of vaccines, it
All
is
right,
likely that the
all right, all right, that's good. And next we move on to Rajat. And please keep your cameras on, everybody. Yes, Rajat.
Yes, ma'am. Hello. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah, but your cameras are not on. Everybody, cameras should be on.
Yes, ma'am. Wait a minute. Let me, ma'am, open that article, ma'am.
Hello. Switch on your
Yeah.
camera.
Hello, ma'am. Hello. Hello, everyone. Yeah, ma'am. My camera is on.
Yeah, yeah. Start.
Yeah, okay. Hello, everyone. Uh, Now the headlines are basically the healthcare staff struggle as many down with virus. Barely. This is an article of Indian Express. The date is set May 1, and
Your
uh,
camera is not on.
barely on their feet. Nurses.
Your camera is not on.
मैम मेरा कैमरा ऑन है पर जब जो आर्टिकल खोल रहे हैं ना तो मेरा कैमरा ऑफ हो जा रहा है
All right.
वो आर्टिकल दूसरे टैब में है इसलिए मैम
स्प्लिट स्क्रीन कर सकते हो
Continue.
मेरे में ओके मैम कर okay. So yeah, the headlines are why two rates for vaccine use your power to ramp up, don't clamp on a complaint as see. Okay. Warms states of containment keep action against aggravation on social media. In a key in a key hearing on the COVID crisis that cover a range of issues from vaccine and oxygen to testing and hospital admission, the Supreme Court on the Friday described the pricing of vaccine as extremely important. Wanted to know from the government if it's doing something to regulate that, and had asked why should there be two prices for the center and the states. The court also wanted state government against any clampdown on the grievance shared on the line on the public on the crisis. Let me change now.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Hello. And advise High Court to avoid of the cut remarks during COVID hearings as they can't give to misgivings about any individual. The bench of Justice D.Y. Chandrachud and L. Lageswar Rao and S. Ravindra Bhatt suggested several measures for the center to consider: increase vaccine manufacturing facilities, implement compulsory licensing to the manufacture generic drugs, put in a place display mechanism for real-time updates on the oxygen supply, and devise a uniform policy for hospital admission. The court was hearing a Sunomoto matter regarding management for COVID remarks come at a time where several high courts, Calcutta to Madras to Karnataka, have pulled up the center and the state government over COVID mismanagement. And after both vaccine manufacturers, Serum Institute of India, Covishield, and Bharat Biotech vaccine announced separate price for the center and the states. Vaccine prices is extremely important. Don't leave it to the manufacturer. How will they determine equality? The bench asks Solicitor General Tushar Mehta if it asks the government to invoke its power to see that additional facilities are created for vaccine manufacturing. The manufacturer are charging you rupees 150, but 300 of or 400 to states. Why should we as a nation pay this price difference becomes rupees 30,000 to 40,000 crore? No point for price difference. We are not directing it, but you should look into its AstraZeneca, Covishield is avoiding vaccine as far lowest price to the US citizen. Then why should we be paying much? Justice Bhatt asks, pointing out that center has said that 50% of procurement it will be done by states. The bench asked, will one state then get priority access over the other in getting the vaccines? How will the vaccine manufacturers terms ensure equality? The bench further asked why the central government not buying 100% on does since its place determines equality and distrust. Why not follow the pattern of pattern of political pattern of national immunization policy where the center acquires and keeps the vaccine states. Stressing the need of additional infrastructure for manufacturing, Justice Chandrachud said, we are conscious that health infrastructure is innovated in the past 70 to 100 years, and this is not criticize of what we said. We are too seasoned to the state value judgment. Referring to oxygen cylinder, the when suggested, can there be a display mechanism put in the place for the updates for the information of the people on key drugs for the COVID patient, the bench referred the Bangladesh manufacturing Remdesivir and some Indian states importing it, and asked if the Indian plan to the replicate enable manufacture of generic drugs without fearing legal action. Compulsory license can be granted with a sunset clause with a source that such license will be over the pandemic is over. Said Justice Chandrachud, adding that the Doha Declaration on the tribes stay related aspects of the intellectual property rights, so that the member rights can be take such steps to protect public in the health. The court also sought to know why it should not issue direction under the Patent Act to enable generic manufacturers to make drugs like remdesivir without fear of legal action. This is a public health emergency. SG, your affidavit says you have to 10 PSU which can manufacture, you can get it. Census through
All right.
that patent
All
control and
right.
thank you, ma'am.
Have is Utsav Raja.
Ma'am, I want to speak.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Start your video. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Um, my report is of Times of India. Scientists say Modi government ignored warning aimed coronavirus surge. A forum of scientific advisors set up by the government warned India's officials in early March of a new and more contagious variant of the coronavirus taking hold in the country. Five scientists who are the part of the forum told Reuters. Despite the warning, four of the scientists said the union government did not seek to impose major restrictions to stop the spread of the virus. Millions of largely unmasked people attend religious really millions of largely unmasked people attend the religious festivals and political rallies that were held by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, leaders of the ruling Bhartiya Janata Party and opposition politicians. Tens of thousands of farmers, meanwhile, continue to camp on the edge of New Delhi, protesting Modi's agriculture policy changes. The world's second most populous country is now struggling to contain a second wave of infection, much more severe than its first last year, which some scientists say it is being accelerated by the new variant and another variant first detected in Britain. India reported 386,452 new cases on Friday, a global record. The spike of infection is India's biggest crisis since Modi took office in 2014. It remains to be seen how his handling of it might affected Modi or his political party. The next general election is due to 2024. Voting in the most recent local election was largely completed before the scale of new surge in infection become apparent. The warning about the new variant in early March was issued by the Indian SARS COVID-2 Genetics Con- uh, Consortium or INSACOG. It was conveyed to the top official who report directly to the Prime Minister, according to one of the scientists, the director of Research Center in North India, who spoke on condition of anonymity. Reuters could not determine whether the INSACOG findings were passed on Modi himself. Modi's office did not respond to requests for comment of Reuters. INSCAGO was set up as a forum of scientific advisory by the government in last December, especially to detect genomic variant of a coronavirus that might threaten public health. In Chicago brings together 10 national laboratories capable of studying virus variant. In Chicago, research first detected B1617, which is known as the Indian variant of the virus, as early as February. Ajay Parida, director of state-run Institute of Life Sciences and the member of INSCOG, told Reuters. INSCOG shared the finding with the Health Ministry National Center of Disease Control before March 10, warning that the infections could quickly increase in part of country. The director of the Northern India Research Center told Reuters. The findings were then passed on the Indian Health Ministry, this person said. The Health Ministry did not respond to requests for comment. Around the date, INSCAGO began to prepare a draft media statement for the Health Ministry. A version of that draft seen by Reuters set out of the forum's findings. The new India's variant had two significant mutations to the portion of the virus that attached to human cells, and it had been traced in 15% to 20% of samples from Maharashtra, India's worst affected state. The draft statement said that the mutations called E484Q and L452R were the high concern. It said that the date of E484Q mutants viruses escaping highly neutralizing antibodies in cultures, and there is the date of L452R mutations was responsible for both increased transmissibility and immune escape. In other words, essentially, this means the muted variation of the virus could more easily enter a human cell and counters the person's immune response to it. The ministry made the finding public about 2 weeks later on March 24, when it issued a statement to the media that it not include the world's high concern. The statement said
All right.
only that
All
more.
right, Priya. Now coming up is Utsav Raja
Thank you,
with
ma'am.
news in English. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. Today I am going to read an article from the Hindu newspaper. The topic is a timely warning. Supreme Court's caution against harassing those needing help will deter ill-advised action. The Supreme Court has issued a timely warning to the states against any attempt to clamp down on the dissemination of information about the serious health crisis besetting the country, or calls for help through social media from citizens affected by COVID 19. The comment, obviously in response to the utterly despotic threat issued by UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath that those spreading misinformation or rumor would be detained under the National Security Act and their property seized, will surely help prevent ill-advised action by the police and the administration to treat appeals concerning shortage of hospital beds, medical oxygen and vital drugs as attempts to bring the government into disrepute. The police in Amethi registered an FIR against a man who appealed on Twitter for an oxygen cylinder for a family member for allegedly circulating a rumor and seeking to cause fear and alarm. Mr. Adityanath appears quite convinced that complaints about oxygen shortage in his state are either imaginary or worse, malicious, and wants to treat them as attempts to spoil the atmosphere. While it is entirely in order that the government has directed the police to crack down on the profiteering on medicines in the black market, it is quite a different matter if the administration starts seeing all appeals for help in a grave crisis as nothing more than activities aimed at tarnishing the government's image. Given the propensity of such leaders to treat the voicing of grievances by citizens as a personal affront to their administrative capabilities. The court's warning that any attempt to stifle the people's voices would attract action for contempt of court is quite timely and necessary. As Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, who heads the bench, remarked, any clampdown on information is contrary to basic precepts. He underscored the significance and necessity for the free flow of information during a grave crisis by recalling the role it played in containing a famine in 1970. The court was apparently drawing inspiration from the theory articulated by economist Amartya Sen that the fundamental attributes of democracy, such as a free press and the need to face the people at elections and respond to political criticism, help prevent famines. However, how far the present regime feels itself accountable to the people at large is now unclear. It faces criticism to acknowledge its own failure to prepare for a calamitous second wave. Questions fired at it by high courts are also on these lines. Any move to stifle such criticism or believe that this is a problem of managing perceptions will be of no avail if the infections and body count keep rising alarming and the health system draws close to collapse. Thank you.
All right. And now we
Yes, ma'am. Abhijit Prasad.
Kumar.
Abhijit Prasad.
Abhijit, okay.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah.
I reading article from Indian Express. Express exclusive. Doctor, my topic is Dr. Anthony S. Fauci on India COVID crisis shut down the country for a few weeks.
Hello, switch
Hang in
on your
there,
camera first. Hello. Your camera is not on.
ma'am. Not work, ma'am. Behind when split the screen and go back to the other screen.
Okay.
Hang in here. Take care of each other. We'll get to a normal. No nation like to lock itself down, but an immediate shutdown for a few weeks could put an cycle of transmission in India. Dr. Anthony, one of the most trusted global voices, told the the, that will
You're
provide a
breaking. You're not
wisdom
audible.
window.
Yes, you're
Yes,
breaking.
ma'am.
Hello.
Ma'am, submit.
Maybe
Yes,
having
ma'am.
network issues, maybe.
Yes, ma'am.
Akash
I think
Kumar,
so.
start. Who else is there? Akash, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, continue. Hello. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Start. So we may be tired, but virus isn't. The government wants. Amid a record surge in coronavirus cases, the Union Health Minister warned against misplaced bravery and stressed on following COVID appropriate behavior and treatment guidelines while saying we may be tired, but the virus isn't. Seeking everyone's support to manage the situation, Joint Secretary in the Health Ministry, Love Agarwal, said that misplaced fear was also being observed among people and urged them not to stock oxygen cylinders at home. So warning from everywhere. And yes, continuing, Akash Kumar, please conclude the session today. Is there anybody else?
No one else, ma'am, in class.
Maybe Akash Kumar is having issues with the network. All right, this was you reading out the news. Reading newspaper is something which is beneficial. Now, can anyone tell me how has it helped you in a personal level?
Increase vocabulary.
Yes, Abhijit.
Ma'am, it's increase the speed of speaking or reading,
Yes.
And vocabulary
and
also.
increase knowledge also.
You are updated
Word
what's
stop.
happening around you. You are aware. That increases the vocabulary. What else?
Ma'am, word stop, please.
Yes. Yes, Akash Kumar, are you back? Maybe he's having network issues. Yes, please tell me what are the benefits of the print media. So today, all of you.
Less costlier from the less costlier, and easy to understand, and
Need to understand
anytime reading.
anytime. So, how many of you are in a habit of reading newspapers? Yes. Are you reading it occasionally, sometimes, or are you reading it all the time, every day?
Ma'am, reading
Weekly.
every day, but in Hindi.
All
I
right.
am weekly read.
Weekly. Now, what I will suggest is
Yes.
read the newspaper every day. Try to get hold of the English editions, which is going to be helpful. Right. So that's it today then.
Thank you, ma'am.